Apple pens are magnetic. I didn't realize that until my magnet stuck to it. Anyway, just got back from lunch. Took the kiddos to lunch. Preston and Max, my 8 and 16-year-old. I had an opportunity to take them to lunch. I rarely get the opportunity to take them to lunch because I'm usually in Zoom meetings, right? Full disclosure, I work for Zoom, so I am not a figurehead of Zoom. I'm not a spokesman for Zoom. I just like to talk about cool stuff, and a lot of times that includes Zoom. So anyway, I was not in a Zoom meeting, took the kids, got a sandwich, and then the kids are like, "Hey, Dad, where's dessert? Let's go get some ice cream or some snow cones or something." I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. It's like 90 degrees here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I took the kids, and I have a relatively new Jeep. I think it's like 6 or 7 months old. And I rarely let the kids eat in the car because there's a reason. You know what the reason is. You're a parent, right? Or you might be a parent. But if you are a parent, you know exactly why you don't let the kids eat in the car, because they're a mess. They're pigs. They're slobs. They drop everything. They spill all over the place. Inevitably, you're going to make somebody mad because there's going to be food on the seats or something like that, right? So I went and got Blizzards for everybody. I didn't eat a Blizzard, by the way. I had a chocolate dipped cone. And as I am a dad, my job is to be the master of warnings, right? Like that's my title. I'm going to warn you. And then if you don't do it, I have to put the dad voice on. And my warning, of course, as you know, is do not drop ice cream in the car. Do not spill ice cream in the car. Do not even think about it. Do not even spill one single drop of that ice cream in my Jeep, right? And so we parked the vehicle, and Max is up front and Preston's in the back, and they're eating their Blizzards in peace, quietly, and by the way, successfully accomplished no spillage. The problem being is, you see this right here? You see that little spot? As I was watching the kids like a hawk to make sure they weren't spilling anything, I was not paying attention. I was eating chocolate dipped ice cream, and guess what happened? That's right. I dropped chocolate all over myself. Literally, I was eating it, and one of the parts broke, and the chocolate just careened down my shirt. It was doing like flips as it was falling down my shirt onto my pants, and then finally onto the floorboard. And Max looked at Preston, and Preston looked at Max, and they're like, "Oh my God!" And they're smart enough to know that probably now's not the opportune time to make fun of Dad, right? Because I was busy warning them about spilling something, and then I go ahead and of course spill stuff all over myself, and you just have to pretend nothing happened. Just go on with your day. So yeah, there you go. I just got I have to eat a little bit of crow on that one, and apologize to my kids about warning them to not drop it. And I did the exact same thing. It happens. It happens. What was I going to talk about today? I think you know, right? I think you know it's Zoom whiteboarding, right? Zoom whiteboarding is the topic of the day. I've talked about Zoom whiteboarding before. Zoom's actually always had whiteboarding, but most recently we released a new version of Zoom Whiteboard. I think we announced it at Zoomtopia of last year how this new whiteboard was coming along. And the reason we designed the new whiteboard, obviously, is, I guess it's not obvious. There's a reason we did it, is because of hybrid work. By the way, I don't like that term. Hybrid work is not, that's the term of the year, of the last 2 years. Hybrid work, right? It's like digital transformation, right? It can mean anything you want it to mean. And people are like, yeah, I work from home. I'm hybrid work. I'm like, no, working from home is not hybrid work. Working from home, by the way, has been around for decades, right? People have been working from home without pre-pandemic for a long, long time. So hybrid work is not just working from home. Anybody can do that. We've been doing that for a while, as I said. Hybrid work, and I'm going to rename it, right? I'm going to rename it, and thanks, Sean. I'm going to steal his thunder here. And I'm going to call it flexible work, because that's a more descriptive term, right? What Zoom is doing is we're developing tools to give you the opportunity to be flexible on where you work. And why that's important is we want the real estate, we want the democratization of meetings and virtual meetings to be the same regardless of where you chose to work that day. That's flexible work. That's what people call hybrid work, right? Hybrid work is not working from home. Hybrid and flexible work are choosing where and when to work. So you have two choices. Most people have two choices, right? At this day and age, you work from home or you go to the office. And what we're seeing in the industry now, right, in society and in the world, is no more. I mean, some people do, right? This is not a 100% applicable statistic. It's not even a statistic. It's just me observing the world today. Is that we're not seeing everybody going back to the office 5 days a week. And I'm sure some of you are doing that. And after 2 years of working from home, you're probably wondering why you keep doing it, right? But flexible work and hybrid work, are we seeing, hey, I'm going to choose to work in the office today. I might have a customer coming in for a demo. I might have a presentation I have to do in a conferencing room. And you're choosing to go into the office. And maybe 2 or 3 or 4 days a week. It doesn't really matter. That's not the point. But the other days I'm going to work at home. And the point is, I really want to have the ability to choose what tool I work with, whether it's in the office or at home, and have the same level of effect during that virtual meeting. What I'm meaning is that if you have 20 people, I want to be able to use a tool, a ucaas tool, i.e. Zoom whiteboarding, to be so effective that I cannot tell if you're in the office or at home. It's the same level, right? I'm getting the same level of what they call virtual real estate. I'm getting the same effectiveness whether I'm at home or at work because of the software I chose to use. And that's why, and that's one of the reasons why Zoom developed this new whiteboarding application, or new version of the whiteboarding application, is because we want it to be so effective, whether you're at home or at work or in the office, you can still collaborate continuously. And what does that even mean too? Continuous collaboration. There's a meeting life cycle. A meeting life cycle meaning pre-meeting, before the meeting, during the meeting, after the meeting. That's the meeting life cycle. And whether I choose to work on my whiteboard at midnight or choose to work on it at lunchtime, it doesn't matter. This whiteboarding work could be asynchronous. And I could be in a chat or a channel with a bunch of people and we're working on a whiteboard together. We could co-author on that whiteboard multiple ways. We can do it real time inside of a Zoom meeting. I can literally co-author on a whiteboard. And so it doesn't matter whether I'm in the office or at home. We can still have the same effectiveness with Zoom Whiteboard wherever we're at. We have the flexibility and choice to choose wherever we're at. That's real time. That's synchronous working. What I'm talking about is also asynchronous working. Again, having the ability to work on a whiteboard before the meeting even starts, during the meeting, real time, and then after the meeting when I might be working after hours or not with the colleague real time. That's the effectiveness of whiteboarding, Zoom whiteboarding. That's flexible work. That's continuous collaboration, right? And now once I have that whiteboard, how do I share it? How do I distribute it? How do I disseminate all this information to either maybe a coworker or a colleague or maybe a whole channel, right? Because if you're working on a project together, you're probably working with more than 1 or 2 people. You're probably working as a team on something. And when you work as a team on something, that continuous collaboration, you're probably working within a Zoom channel. Now, how do we populate that Zoom whiteboard into a Zoom channel? Because in the past, whiteboarding was during the meeting and that was it. It went away. But that doesn't work. That doesn't work in the hybrid work model or flexible work model. We need to be able to continuously work on products and projects within the framework of Zoom. That's why Zoom whiteboarding, the new version, is so amazing, right? So let's start it up. Let's kick it up real quick. 2 different ways I can kick it up. Obviously, I'm in the middle of a meeting right now. I can click on whiteboards right here. I'm in my Zoom client. I can click on my whiteboard right there. So let's click on it. Let's just say we have this. We already have this whiteboard set up, right? I already have just this. I just pretended to have a whiteboard here, and I just drew a bunch of stuff and a bunch of lines, and we're gonna play tic-tac-toe. And anyway, we want to be able to group this stuff together. We can move it all around. We can do all the whiteboard stuff, right? All the stuff that a whiteboard does. Now we're done with a whiteboard, or I'm done working on it for the day, and I want to share it with my colleagues in the channel that I'm working on. Okay, so let's do it. Let's go up here. Here's how I share it. If you haven't figured it out, it's this big blue button that says share. Zoom is amazing at UX, right? User experience. That's what UX stands for. Zoom is amazing at user experience because I put a ton of dev and engineering and thought into laying it out so it's easy and effective for all of our user base. That's why Zoom is so popular, right? The learning curve is so small and so shallow as opposed to some of our competitors where the learning curve is exponential. And you don't want that in your UCAS solution. Again, you want to give choice and you want user adoption, user training to be as minimal as possible. You want this to be simplistic and effective and easy. That's exactly what Zoom Whiteboard is. It's very well thought out. And now that I'm done with my whiteboard, I want to share it. Look at this. I have opportunities to share it with individuals. I could share it with individuals in my organization. I could send an email to, does people even use email anymore? I could actually email this document to somebody. I can actually just copy and paste it. Copy this link. If you notice when I copied it, I'll hit copy again. It's a browser-based application. I can literally send this link via chat, via email, via text even to anybody of my colleagues, and they have the ability to now work and view that whiteboard. Look at this. I can actually now, what's the most powerful thing is I can actually now send this to a channel. And I already have one here, but I'm going to add it again just so I can show you. I'm going to send this to a channel. Let's just say external facing channel. And what this allows me to do now is granularly put RBAC permissions on that, or role-based access control on this individual whiteboard. So for example, maybe I want to send this to an individual channel and I want to give everyone ownership rights on that whiteboard. And now everyone can co-author and collaborate, continuously collaborate on that same whiteboard. But I also might want to share it with my boss or other colleagues, and maybe I just want them to review it. You can maybe have the ability to edit it, of course. Maybe you just want feedback on the whiteboard. You want commentary on the whiteboard. Maybe you just want them to be able to view it to see what it is and comment in the chat. You have these granular levels of permissions built into Zoom Whiteboard. Super cool, right? Allows that collaboration to be really simple, really effective, and really easy to train on. Now let's go, right? Let's just go to chat. Now I've shared that whiteboard with that external facing channel. And let's go down here, right here, external facing channel. That's just the name of my channel. You can name it anything you want, obviously. And look at that. That whiteboard is now inside of that channel. Any members of this channel now, because the channel is now co-owner of that whiteboard, now every individual team member inside of this channel now have the ability to collaborate real-time or asynchronously on a whiteboard project within my given channel for my given project. Whiteboarding is an amazing tool now at Zoom, and it's getting better and better every month, right, as we add modalities and functions to it. But I just wanted to showcase how simple that was. How easy was it just to fire up a whiteboard, draw some project stuff on it, maybe workflows, maybe just brainstorming, and then maybe like you're brainstorming with 4 or 5 people, and there's 4 or 5 people in another meeting, and they can't be there with you. Here's the cool thing. You can record that meeting. They can then kind of follow your thoughts and brainstorming ideas. And then right after they watch that recording, they could go in there and edit that document, that whiteboard along with you, and then write notes on it, and then persistent chat along the way. So everyone, regardless of where they're at, right? Home, office, airport, it doesn't matter. Everyone is continuously collaborating on that same project with the powerful tools that Zoom has. Hope that was interesting. Hope you learned a little bit. I'm going to go wash my shirt.